So it's summer here in the Northern Hemisphere, and the plant world is absolutely booming. It's wondrous, and it can also be a little bit intimidating. If you're anything like me, then once the midpoint of summer hits, you can really enter into this state of overwhelm, of not knowing where to begin. But truly, connecting with the plant world can be easy. I'm Asia Suler of One Willow Apothecaries, and these are my 3 supremely simple practices for making deep connections with plants this summer. All healing happens in relationship, whether we're talking about relating to a landscape or to a particular herbal medicine or to a person. You know, we can experience a lot of wonderful things on our own inside of our own systems, but when we come into interaction with another being is when healing really takes place. We see this on a physical level when we work with herbal medicine, right? We take a tincture internally, and that tincture is interacting with our own unique biochemistry. So from my perspective, all healing truly begins from this space of interacting and creating relationship. So these 3 simple tips to start engaging with the plants and making deep connections are all about developing relationship. And I promise you, if you make the priority here developing that relationship, your ability to know about that plant, your bank and library of knowledge and wisdom will just expand infinitely from there. Tip number 1 is eat a single leaf every day. Now, of course, this tip only applies to edible plants, but this is such a potent and yet super simple way to be continually making connections and relationships with the plants. So whether you have a beautiful big garden or you just have a fire escape, find one plant, at least one plant that you would like to grow. So you can grow that plant in a container, you can grow that plant planted out onto the land, but find a plant that you would be excited to eat one single leaf from every day. So there's a lot of plants you could consider here with this. Lemon balm is a lovely one. Anise hyssop is another. You could try for a variety of different types of basils. Choose whatever plant is really calling to you, as long as it's edible. My favorite plant to do this practice with is Tulsi. Tulsi is a holy basil from the Indian subcontinent, has a really long history of use. It's considered a virtual panacea for health issues. It's an adaptogen, an immunomodulator. It's one of my favorite anti-anxiety and antidepressant herbs. It's a great digestive as well. And for many traditional Indian families, it's a common practice to eat one single leaf of Tulsi every day. The idea being that if you eat one leaf, you'll have vibrant health throughout the year. Now, why one leaf? Well, sometimes I feel like we get in this mindset of working with plants like we have to do all the things, we have to make the pestos, we have to dry the tea, and that can be beautiful, right? But it can also become another thing that's on your to-do list, and we can lose sight of the relationship. When we focus in on just one simple moment of connection, like eating a simple leaf, we can really be in that moment of connection, which is where the healing happens. So when you go to take that leaf and you go to eat it, really drop into your connection. Ask the plant for permission. Say hi to this being. Notice the texture that day. Is the smell any different? What's blooming? How has it grown in the past days? So this is a beautiful way to really maintain a relationship and also be bringing that plant inside of your body. And it's very much true that we are what we eat. So you are making this connection to this plant, and you are literally bringing that plant inside of your being and having it become a part of you. Practice number 2 is to pick one plant you're super excited to learn about and focus on it. So I know for me, summer hits, a million plants are out, and I'm like, who's that? What's going on over there? I want to know that flower. I want to know that vine. And that's awesome, but it can be super overwhelming. I really suggest picking one plant and getting to know them really, really well. It's kind of like going to a party where there's a million different people that you don't know, Because as long as you know one person at that party, right, everything's going to feel a lot less overwhelming. So that plant is your point person of the summertime landscape, and they will help you to feel comfortable enough to continue to get to know other plants just like you would get to know other people at a big rockin' party. So pick one plant that you are excited about, one plant that just really is catching your eye, preferably one that's growing around you so you can have this direct interaction. And learn everything you can about that one plant. Develop a deep relationship with this one being so you can look up information about that plant's materia medica, that plant's historical, traditional uses. Look up about the botany of that plant. Is that plant used in other forms of medicine or healing or craft? Is it used in basketry? Is it used in dyeing? All of these things can help us to really understand the larger character of that plant. And something kind of ineffable happens when you make this one connection with this one being. It's as if this invisible gateway opens that you can start to then feel at home enough to begin interacting with all the other amazing beings at this summer plant party. The last tip is intentional watering. So we have this amazing ability as human beings to be highly mobile, highly cognitive, to plan ahead, and we have the ability to give the plants one of the things that they need the most in this world, which is water. Now, I know many of us go about watering like a daily rote routine, and I, for one, definitely do this. But something really special can happen when you really drop into your intention when you're watering. So you can do this with your houseplants. You can go rogue watering in the city that you live in. I think it's really important to pick one, two, or a small handful of plants that you really want to focus on with this practice, particularly if you're working in some place like your neighborhood or your city block. Really focusing your attention on just a few plants or even just one plant here will really develop that connection, that feeling of specialness when you're doing this watering. Now, we know through looking at the emergent work of people like Dr. Masaru Emoto, who wrote Hidden Messages in the Water, that water has this amazing ability to take on and encode intentions, the vibrations of your thoughts and your feelings. So when we're talking about intentional watering, what you want to do is get your cup or your watering can and really just spend a moment infusing that water with your love, your gratitude, your blessings for this plant. So just spending a few moments doing this, it doesn't have to be anything elaborate, will bring so much benefit to the plants and also to this feeling of creating relationship. So once you've infused the water with your love, go on out and water this plant. And really take time as you're watering to feel that plant soak up this water and feel that plant's happiness and gratitude. I promise you, if you just clear your mind for a moment, you're going to feel this. And it's such a special moment to be able to give this incredible gift, this life-giving gift to this plant. And through this process of gift giving, really establish a relationship with this being that you want to know and be in connection with. So now I'd love to hear from you. How do you connect to the plants during the summer months, during the growing months? What are your super simple practices that help you stay grounded and in relationship to the green and growing world? If you liked this video, go ahead and share with your friends. Develop a little plant club. Go out and bless your city with watering. And let me know how these practices go for you.